the negotiations between the Israelis and the Palestinians, sponsored by the U.S., has been fruitless for more than 20 years now. And Palestinians, they're coming to the UN, resorting to the UN, and the U.S. is blocking, in fact, their way.
They haven't come here yet, so let's not get ahead of it. But let me just say this. It is true that negotiations have not yet yielded the outcome we all seek and desire. But it is also equally true that there is no other way to accomplish the establishment of a Palestinian state. There's no magic wand, there's no magic piece of paper here or anywhere else that in and of itself can create that outcome. As a practical, factual matter, in order to achieve the creation of a Palestinian state with clear boundaries, with sovereignty, with the ability to secure itself and provide for its people, there has to be a negotiated settlement. And that is why we are continuing to make every effort to bring that about. That is why we think that it is short-sighted and counterproductive to try means of short-circuiting that, because at the end of the day, the only way to change conditions in the real world for the people of Palestine and to create two states living side by side in peace and security is at the negotiating table.
Thank you, Ambassador. Two quick questions logistically. A, do you believe that the Palestinians have 9 votes in the Security Council, making the U.S. veto irrelevant? And B, Palestinians seem to want this to happen very quickly. How fast do you expect this to happen? Does the U.S. want to delay it?
I really am not going to get into speculating about the various ways this could come, on what timelines and what form or fashion. If we've learned anything as we have focused very closely on this process, is we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So obviously we will wait and see. I'm not going to predict today what exactly the vote count is, but I think there are more than one and perhaps several members of the Security Council who are skeptical about the timeliness of action in the Security Council. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As Ambassador Dabashi said in the Security Council just now, this has been an historic day for Libya, and it's been a very good day for the United Nations. First, this morning the General Assembly approved the credentials of the Transitional National Council, and this afternoon the Security Council unanimously adopted Resolution 2009, which establishes an important UN mission to Libya and offers the basis for support for the Libyan people and for the National Transitional Council going forward. I think you've been briefed in detail on the details of the resolution, so I won't go through that, but I'm happy to answer any questions about it.
On Palestine.
Can we just do Libya first, please? Okay.
Another question. Okay. I saw that David Cameron in Tripoli said that he would help the National Transitional Council, quote, hunt down Gaddafi, and that the NATO airstrikes would continue until every bastion of Gaddafi support is defeated. And I just wanted two questions. What does this support to hunt down mean? And if there were a last sort of bastion of Gaddafi supporters that weren't in fact threatening civilians, if that can be hypothetically believed, what would be the rationale for NATO airstrikes on such a bastion?
Well, I'm not going to answer hypothetical questions, but what I can say is that what the resolution makes clear is that we will keep under continuous review the no-fly zone and the authorization to protect civilians. We have made clear that we will continue to take the action necessary to enforce the no-fly zone and also to protect civilians as long as it is necessary. We have also expressed in this resolution our readiness to lift those measures as appropriate and when it can be done in consultation with the Libyan authorities. And that's what we'll continue to do.
And the hunting down, just what does that exactly mean? I couldn't figure it out from
I'm not going to comment on statements that the Prime Minister made in Libya.
Any more Libya?
Palestine.
So after this milestone in regards with Libya, would you like to see a breakthrough regarding Palestine? And President Abbas said today that he's going to apply for full membership in the Security Council. I know from other sources that he's going to take also the other path to the General Assembly. What's your take on that after this development?
Well, we have always made clear that Palestine cannot be insulated as an issue from the Arab Spring. The desire of the people in North Africa and the Middle East region for participation, for freedom, for liberty, democracy, that must not be denied to any of the peoples in the region, and that includes the Palestinian people. We haven't had a time to absorb fully what President Abbas said this evening, but I understand that he is talking about lodging an application for full membership of the United Nations. But he will not be doing that until the 23rd. So let's wait and see when he and his entourage comes to New York. No doubt there'll be a lot of discussions in the margins of the ministerial week between now and Thursday, and then we will see what President Abbas says in his speech on Thursday.
Follow up. It's always being said that the negotiations is the only way to resolve this issue. And the negotiation has been going on for more than 20 years. It is bearless, no fruits, nothing. And now the Palestinians are resorting to the international community for their rights. What would you say on that?
Well, of course, the Palestinians have every right to appeal to international institutions, but we have always made clear that a sustainable and peaceful solution can only be brought about by direct negotiation between Israel and the Palestinians, and that is still our position.
You know, today in his speech, President Abbas said that, when we go home, we're still going to have to negotiate. This isn't going to win us our independence. There's a certain school of thought in the Palestinian community that, the two-state solution was born here in the United Nations. They kind of gave it over to the United States in 1990 after Madrid for implementation. 20 years later, there's no two states, there's 3 times as many settlers, there's less freedom of movement. And so it's kind of time to bring it back to the United Nations because this organization would be more zealous in trying to get it implemented. Do you think that's right, that they're
Well,
going to push
I don't accept that the United Nations has been absent. The United Nations has been involved in Palestinian negotiations for many years. The Quartet has the United Nations as one of its 4 members. The Security Council has discussed the Middle East peace process on numerous occasions. The General Assembly has discussed the Palestinian question on many occasions. So it isn't true that the United Nations has been absent, and it will continue to be very active on this dossier.
Last question. Is your draft resolution on Syria still alive? We haven't heard of any action taken in the Council on Syria recently, and Ban Ki-moon yesterday called for a united action from the international community. Did you discuss this kind of action in the Council in your discussions, and are you going to raise up the situation in Syria during the General Assembly on November this month?
Yes, the Secretary General did raise this issue in lunch today with the Security Council members and repeated what he had said publicly about the importance of the Security Council taking up its responsibilities and sending a clear united message to the Syrian authorities. The British drafted resolution, which is supported by all the European members of the Security Council and the United States, remains on the table. We are continuing consultations with other members of the Security Council. We are not taking it off the table, and we do hope to put it forward to the vote before too long. Thank you very much.